Welcome to Claymation tutorial where Ken, Francis, and I will teach you the basics of making a claymation. But first, let us discuss what stop motion is, its background, and its brief history. Stop motion is a type of animated filmmaking medium where the animator controls a physical object and photograph each movement to create an illusion of appearance and motion. Back in the 1930s, stop motion was first introduced in the film King Kong and was also utilized in the movie Jason and the Argonauts. Next is the different types of stop motion animation. There is claymation, brick films, cutouts, and puppets. But for this video, we will focus on claymation. Clay animation are done by molding and manipulating a clay or Play-Doh. Will Vinton, an Oscar-winning animator, was known as the father of claymation for his filmmaking experiments using plasticine clay.
Began animating.
I wonder what makes it work.
In the modern pop culture, we often see movies that use the medium of claymation, like Coraline, Shaun the Sheep, and Chicken Run.
Great Scott, what was that? A Klingon!
There are also great clay animators in the internet, like Galdies and Twin Tails. Now, let's call Ken Jeremiah to discuss to us the process of making a clay animation.
Now, let's learn how to make a stop-motion clay animation. Many amateur stop-motion animators can start from home. Here is a guide to making your own DIY clay animation. First, find your setting. Establish where your camera is going to go. Then ensure the setting or backdrop fills your frame. You only want to maintain consistency. Keep the camera focused on the frame and don't let the outer edges encroach your shot. Fix the lighting. Try to keep your filming area away from the natural daylight, as the sun will create shadows across your video. Filming indoors and away from any windows or uncountable light sources is generally recommended to maintain consistency. Keep it steady. Once you've set your camera, it mustn't move. Set up a timer or a way to remotely trigger the shutter, so that you don't have to touch the camera to capture each shot. While you can change angles and shot types for different scenes, it is important to keep the camera still while filming a sequence to keep the movements consistent. Then, figure out your frame rate. Around 12 frames or pictures is the equivalent of 1 second of view time. The more frames or pictures you add, the smoother your image sequence will be. However, keep in mind that the more frames you add, the longer the filmmaking process will take. Move in small increments. If you're aiming to create smooth motion, move your objects or materials in small, consistent increments. Making big movements from frame to frame makes objects appear to move faster upon playback, while making smaller moves make objects appear to travel more slower. Some dedicated software has an animation feature called onion skinning that allows the animator to see multiple frames at once, making it easier to plan and execute the next movement in your frame. And lastly, you need to edit it. Upload your images into a dedicated stop-motion software or app. Use the software to add sound effects or the music to stop-motion animation.
The materials used in making the stop-motion or the claymation are as follows. Any kind of modeling clay for the main subject of the stop-motion. In making any stop motion, any object can be used, but as far as this one, we chose to go with a claymation which uses clay for its subject. Any background to film on white, green, or black are good examples for backgrounds when making such animations, and of course a phone or camera to film your stop motion. Animating the stop motion. It is obvious that we need a means of animating or making the stop motion itself. The first step is to take shots of the animation, frame by frame. Make sure that there are no errors nor any unnecessary objects in capturing the frames. Second is import it into an application that can be used to produce or create the stop motion. In our animation, we use the Stop Motion Studio, but there are other alternatives for it. Again, make sure that every frame is in good condition. Edit it properly and review the end result of your stop motion animation.